just arrived at Tuol Sleng, or S21, Security Prison 21. The most striking part about it is that it's in the middle of the city. So it's not hidden away like the killing fields were, but it's right in downtown Phnom Penh, which is a little bit striking considering what goes on here. So it's $6 to get in. We're gonna do this tour, probably take an hour, and come out after that.
So our audio tour guide was just telling us that prior to the Khmer Rouge taking over this area and turning it into a prison, it was actually a high school, functioning high school. And during the time that it was open, there were 12 to 20,000 prisoners here, and there's only known to be 12 that survived once the prison was closed. So another thing that our audio guide was saying that we read on some of the signs is that this prison is right in the middle of downtown Phnom Penh. For, 3 years it was open?
Yeah. During the Khmer Rouge.
No one really knew what was going on here, so they say. I feel like that would be pretty hard to ignore.
The noise level coming out of here had to be ridiculous. Even if they were playing music, people had to have known that people were getting tortured and killed in here. Or maybe they just didn't want to know. Similar to like the Holocaust, when people said, oh, we didn't know the concentration camps were there. More like they didn't really want to find out. They didn't want to know what was happening. Ignorance is bliss. Not condemning the people either, but it must have been an incredibly fearful time for everyone, knowing that at any minute you could be taken from your house and never seen again, This is a feature basically talking about the forced marriage of Pol Pot's regime, of the Khmer Rouge, where they were forced to marry other people, and how that was also a way to oppress the people, not just through execution and torture, but through forced marriages in order to produce more children for the Angkar, the organization. The picture of prisoners while they were still alive, juxtaposed next to their death photos. Maybe one of the most upsetting things I've seen in a long time. This is an entire family who was killed by the regime to, quote unquote, pull the plan out by its roots so no one could come back for revenge. A man, a wife, and his 6 children. This is what a cell would look like. Sometimes 2 prisoners at a time. So what do you think?
Pretty somber, pretty serious. Really eye-opening. It's really great to have these audio guides that really narrate what happened. Because, you can read as much as you want, but to hear it and see things, at the same time really just puts it home a little bit.
The whole thing was amazing. It was really, I think, better done, or at least better organized than the killing fields. But it was also really a lot more crushing. They had, even though they didn't have the amount of bodies per se, they had the pictures of all the victims before they.
And you can actually walk through, the cells and see the blood stains on the floor. It's really serious. And for me, it was really humbling because this is something, honestly, I don't think I ever learned about in school.
No. As Americans, we really don't hear a lot about it. So. Which is crazy too, because we played such a large role in why the Khmer Rouge took power due to the bombings that we employed in Cambodia. And we dropped more payload in Cambodia than we ever dropped in World War II, just to give you an example of how much we actually bombed Cambodia. And just the fact that we don't even know about this. Like, this is all, I knew about Pol Pot from school a little bit, but not very much.
I feel like a few paragraphs in history class.
Yeah, maybe tops. The whole thing was just, it was amazing, like seeing the faces of the people who died here, not only just Cambodians, but Vietnamese, Americans, New Zealanders, Australians, British people.
So many people come here too and look through these pictures, especially Cambodia, to find relatives.
Yeah, they come and
relatives here.
And find long lost relatives who have been killed here, who just disappeared during the regime. I think that was the saddest for me, at least. So the most upsetting was just there's a wall full of children, just kids basically, not like 5, 6-year-olds, like toddlers who were killed just indiscriminately. The whole thing's kind of a nightmare, but good for Cambodia for just looking at it in the eye and trying to move forward, you know, the best that they can, the best that anyone can. So really an excellent experience, if you can call it that. But all in all, a very somber but informative and educational day.